focus on doing the things that are in your zone of genius.
Yeah.
Versus the things that are just solely in your zone of competence, because you can hand that over to someone else to handle so that you can shine in your zone of genius. Yeah. Because your blender, even the blender that you've thrown away, you still have the box at the top of your cupboard. What if I move, babe? You can go to a corner shop. They will give you boxes for free. Make you fall in love with the person. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, you can tell. Sorry. It's really like, what do you need in order to thrive? What do you need in order to function well? Let's do that.
Hey, beautiful. Welcome back to the Kiya Convos podcast. This is the space for all things self-care, wellness, and empowerment. I'm your host, Amoah, and today I am so excited for our guest. We have the absolutely gorgeous Michelle of Marbie's Kitchen.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind of you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for coming down today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk.
Me too. Can't wait to get into it. All things home and hostess.
And hosting. Yes.
Yeah, you're the hostess with the mostess.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I will take it.
No, I love it. I love to always kick off our episodes just asking guests to let the audience know a bit about who you are. So who is Michelle?
Oh, this always feels like a whole lot of pressure. I'm like,
I know.
But, okay, so Michelle's my name. Marbie's a nickname. It's literally just Barbie with an M, and it's stuck since like Facebook days. So I ran with it. I'm someone who loves gathering people, who loves creating spaces that feel safe for people to share, and also to realize that we're more alike than we are different. Like, that's a big thing at the core of what I do. And part of the ways that I do that is through teaching people how to host in an elevated way, through gathering people in my home, through creating content around all of that, through having heart conversations, but also through hosting events, like in-person events where we can gather and we can share stories about life, love, loss, grief, like all the things. Yes, I love to cook. I love food. But mainly it's so that I can gather people.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So where did your passion for hosting come from? Was that seen as you were a child growing up?
Yeah, I always say, like, my aunt tells me a story of when she came to visit me. I grew up in Lagos.
Sure.
So she tells me about a time when she came to visit and I was like 7 or 8 and I made her special Indomie. Like, it probably wasn't that special, but for those of you who don't know what Indomie is, it's just like ramen noodles in a pack. Yeah. And I like cooked for her and my uncle because they came to visit from the States, and then I would do like a ballerina dance. So it was come dine with me before I ever knew what come dine with me was, like the meal and the entertainment. But I think also just growing up in an environment in Lagos where gathering is like a core part of how we live. Yeah. I think for me, it was a culture shock when I would come to the UK a couple of years later, and after church on a Sunday, everybody would go home. That was a foreign concept to me because growing up, it was like, after church, we're going to someone's house. We don't know who. And it doesn't have to be a fancy tablescape or anything, over the top. But it was just, we're going to gather. There's going to be food. There's going to be drink. And we'll just enjoy each other's company. And that was a core part of my upbringing. Yeah. And I think over time, I kind of got back to that a bit more in my teenage years. Like after school, I had friends that would show up, like they just knew Michelle was going to cook like rice and stew or something. And they would show up like bang on the dot as soon as the stew, never in time to help me cook, but right on time to help me like actually eat the food. But yeah, I think it's been a core part of my upbringing in different ways. My mom always loved like cooking for other people. As one of the eldest siblings of like 7, she would always be the person cooking. And I think I just saw that growing up, and I loved seeing how it made other people feel when they were nourished on a very basic level, and the way that that would then help with kind of putting their armor down. It's like when you feed someone with their most basic human need, then it's easy. It's kind of like when you sit and have conversations with your girlfriends, like you might be talking about heartbreak, but let's have some pasta while we do it, right? Sure. Yeah. So I think it's been a key part of my upbringing, and it's just much of my adult years has been a process of returning to that.
Sure. Yeah. So what made you narrow down, because it's quite a distinct niche that you're in, as in the overall hosting experience. Yeah. What made you not necessarily go down, let's say, the cooking route?
I did. Which is what I always say. Like, I think about the power of pivoting and how sometimes like we want permission from other people to be able to say, hey, I want to do less of that and more of this. backstory, I started off making wedding cakes, stumbled into it
Oh,
after
wow.
uni. Yeah.
Okay.
And then eventually I got to a point where I was like, my back can't handle this. I don't have a social life. Like for me personally, I didn't enjoy the thought of course you could scale, but being tied to my money being directly tied to the time I could put into something.
Sure.
So I had to physically be baking to make money, right? So then eventually I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then after thinking about Marbie's Kitchen on and off for about 6 years, I launched in 2018 and I started off focusing heavily on food recipes. Like I also spoke about, heart conversations because it was about bringing food and conversation together.
Sure.
But I would share food recipes a lot. And it got to a point where I was like, I love food and I love the way it brings people together. But for me, it was basically a means to an end. And I felt like, well, how am I going to pivot again and say, like, first I didn't want to do wedding cakes and now I've launched this thing. I was heavily focused on food and I kind of want to veer away from that. But I had to eventually just give myself permission to pivot without needing it to make sense to other people, because I did speak to people sometimes and they would be like, well, like, people will understand the food recipes a bit more. Dinner parties, it's too niche. And it's so crazy. Most of the money that I've made from working with brands, from hosting it, like it's been since I've decided to fully lean into that niche of dinner parties and hosting. And then it's taken off a lot more on social media, like post-COVID, after we could gather. Yeah. But it was really hard at first because I was like, everyone knows me for the recipes, but I just didn't love it enough to fully devote all my time and energy to it. So I'm glad that I chose to pivot and just not lead into the pressure of, oh, what will everyone else think?
Yeah, definitely. For the audience, can you just break down what it is that you do specifically with Marbie's Kitchen?
Oh, okay. So I would say there's different parts of it. So first, I'm a content creator. So I create content for brands, for organizations who want to kind of promote their product or their service. And I love that part of what I do. I also just create content like organically for my own brand. I have products. I have a journal that's a guided journal that helps with self-discovery. Again, that piece of coming home to yourself, knowing yourself a bit better. I feel like we invest so much in relationships with other people. Like you would ask interesting questions if you met someone. Yeah. But there's just certain things we assume about ourselves, or we just don't take enough time to investigate or live with curiosity about ourselves. So I created a journal to help with that. And I have another product coming out in a couple of weeks, which is a little surprise, but it fits into the theme of hosting as well. And then beyond that, I also host in-person events. So I describe them like a giant dinner party. It's called Tables and Tales. Yeah. And literally you just gather with other women. We have conversations similar to what we're doing right now on the stage between each course. So yeah.
So tell me about Tables and Tales, because I saw the one you did last year. Yeah. So how did that come about?
Oh, again, it's like one of those things where I really had to give myself permission to do it, because I remember when I had the idea for it, probably about 2018 when I launched Marbie's Kitchen, and I finally did it in 2019, which I'm so thankful that I did, because that was October, like right before COVID hit. But I was like, I want to create this space where people gather and they have conversation and food, and it's elevated, but it doesn't, like, we can dress up and go. It doesn't feel as restrictive as maybe a conference might, or a traditional conference. There's substance in terms of what's being shared. It's not just hype, because there's a place and time for hype. But like for me, I wanted a space that felt nourishing on all levels. So on a physical level, you get to have delicious food. When I started, and there were 60 attendees for the first one, I cooked all the food, which is insane. Wow. Yeah. I had help from people who were chefs as well and foodies, but that was intense. But essentially, I just wanted a space where you could eat great food, have great conversation, be poured into from people who are experts in their field or have insights to share. But also you could dress up, and like, it doesn't have to be a wedding or a birthday party. You could actually dress to the nines, like come to an elevated space. Everything is curated well, tablescapes. Now I want you to feel like, I remember someone said to me like, oh my gosh, this feels like my wedding. But one of the ones that I held, and I was like, that's such a great compliment. And the other the feedback that we get sometimes is like, I came alone, I think someone put it as she came alone, but she left feeling like she was at a friend's house with the friend's friends and their friends' friends. And I was like, I love that.
That's
but
exactly what you envisioned. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it's just, it's a space to have those rich, honest conversations and be poured into on a deep level, but also have it done in a really elevated way.
Yeah.
And every year I'm always thinking like, okay, what else can I do to make people feel really catered to in a special way?
Yeah. How many have you done now? And talk me through your first one.
Yeah. Oh, girl. Okay. So this is going to be the 5th one, and I'm really excited.
Okay.
So I'm hosting one on the 26th of July. I'm really excited for it with some of the stuff that I have in mind. The guest speaker is my leak, and she's coming in from Atlanta. Everybody that like has heard about my leak,
yes,
they're like, I heard about her through you. Not everybody. Some people know about her outside of me,
wow,
but
you got my leak.
Girl, and it's so funny because it feels like a full circle moment when she hosted these retreats, and you could apply to enter and you could apply with like a video submission online to win a ticket to actually attend without paying the fee for the retreat. So I remember I applied at the top of 2019. I didn't get through. I was so gutted. I was so sad. And I was like, I want to create a space similar to what I see people experience there. And that was actually what gave me the courage to start Tables and Tales. So it feels like such a full circle moment to have her come to the 5th one. The first one, it felt like a dream come true, but it was a learning curve. And it's crazy because this morning I was thinking to myself, like, not knowing how to do something has never stopped me from doing it. And I feel like it leans into some of what my leak says, where, sometimes we'll see like hurdles as barriers instead of people looking at an obstacle or a hurdle as, okay, how can I get over this thing? It's like, okay, well, this is difficult. I guess I should just like stop or give up now or lose momentum. And I think for me, the whole journey of even putting the first one together, being like, okay, how do I put the experience together? How do I figure out the tablescape? Like, I feel like when I hosted that first event in 2019, that was one of the first times I saw the room layout, like the U-shaped layout that I love to do. And it's now become the signature style. And I've seen so many other events like take that on. But it's like, if I didn't give myself the chance to try, even when it was, okay, I've not seen this done in the same way. I've seen live podcast shows, I've seen conferences, I've seen church conferences, but not something that brings that 3-course banquet style experience together with it. But it was great. It felt like nice and intimate and cozy. I say intimate, there's like 60 guests all together.
Oh, wow. How did you get 60 people for your first event?
I think it came from people just wanted that experience of, okay, we see you share this online. We see you cook and host people online. Like, I want to be a part of it in some way. And I think over the years, I just built a brand that I personally feel like people could resonate with. And again, it was a one-of-a-kind experience for people because it wasn't commonplace at the time. And just communicating the vision, the same with what I'm having to do now that numbers have grown. I'm not cooking the food anymore myself because it's just not manageable. The last time I did that was 2022. There was 80 people and I was like, never again.
Wow. What did you cook for that event?
For that event, I think we did beef short ribs. The previous event was like a lamb shank tagine. Like, I just love cooking for people the things that bring me comfort and the things that I love and enjoy. But I was like, you know what, let's elevate this. So since then, it's now, in hotels. I work with some really amazing hotels to bring the event to life. And just having them handle like a lot more on the back end. And I focus on the guest experience and things that only I can bring to life. I think that's been a learning curve as well. Like, just not being bogged down with all the little tiny details that you could really hand over to someone else. And I think that's a lesson across the board, whether it's events, entrepreneurship. It's like, focus on doing the things that are in your zone of genius versus the things that are just solely in your zone of competence, because you can hand that over to someone else to handle so that you can shine in your zone of genius.
So for this event that you're planning now, how involved are you, or what areas are you?
I eat, live and breathe it. Honestly, it brings me so much joy to know that I can dedicate time and effort to making sure someone has a once in a lifetime experience. Because for me, I always feel like you never know what someone is carrying when they come into your space. So I always want to handle them with care. Like, it's a core belief of mine. Like, I think it's crazy. You could be in the same room as someone and you don't know, maybe last week they might have gone through something traumatic or tragic. There might be loss in some way. They might have lost a job. They might there's so many things that like you just don't know people are not saying to you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why wouldn't I go above and beyond to make sure you have an amazing experience? So to me, it's not about the ticket sales. Like anybody that does events knows that if you're breaking even, that's a miracle. And like if you want to go above and beyond with the details, right? If you're not putting your own money into it, that's like maybe a sponsorships that are helping you to really bring that to life. So for me, like every single moment, waking up, sleeping, I'm thinking about what I can do to elevate the experience for people. But I think this time, especially after my experience with the first event, like I actually fell into a deep depression after the first event, which always sounds crazy when you say it, but
no, I want to talk me through that
because I've spoken to people after that and I was like, I don't know, like why I'm so, like I literally stayed in hiding for like 6 weeks, just at home in bed in the dark. And someone said to me, like, she had a similar experience. It's this thing where you put every single thing into hitting a goal and you make the end goal, the destination, like your North Star. It's the be all and end all. So when that's finished, there's a void that's now there. And it's just like, you can kind of crash after you hit this, this goal that you had in mind. And I think for me, it's been a lesson across the board to make sure that I look after myself on the journey to the goal. And I also focus on my well-being just in the lead up. Like the goal is not the be all and end all. It's the journey and it's who I'm becoming on the process of getting to that destination. So even now for this one, I'm making sure like I'm getting back to journaling. I'm getting back to looking after myself, like in the mornings, having a morning routine that isn't waking up and going, place cards, souvenirs, like all of those things are important, but how I'm doing in the lead up to that also matters a whole lot. So I think it's a reminder across the board with anything, with launching my journals, with launching any products, with launching my podcast, with any, you can become so fixated on how happy you think you're going to feel when you get to the end destination that you don't take time out to care for yourself on the way there. And I think it's been a mindset shift for me to get to the point where it's like, no, your well-being matters in the lead up to the end goal.
So when you were in that period after the first event, what did you do to get out of that?
Lord, I went away. Usually my my antidote when I'm kind of feeling low is to travel. I mean, since COVID, the prices have gone up, honey. So, you know, I have to find other methods. But yeah, like pre-2020, it was like, oh, let me catch a flight. So that's what I did. I went away. And even being away, it was still hard. I had like days where I felt low. But just, I had to give myself time to get back to myself, if I'm honest, and just reaffirm myself and my identity outside of the achievement. Because it's like, after it's finished, it's similar to what people say about wedding days. It's like, you put so much effort, like, oh, everything has to go a certain way. And it's like, after the wedding day or after the product launch, and people kind of forget, like, oh, okay. Like you come down and it's like, okay, well, who are you outside of that achievement? And making sure you put as much effort into that as working towards these goals. Yeah,
definitely. I really resonated with I came across you some time back and I really resonated with you because me and my husband love hosting people.
Oh, nice.
Where that couple is like, no, not a restaurant for a birthday. Come, we're going to feed you. Yeah, so that's something we really enjoy. I invest in, you know, the serving dishes, the little, Christmas at our house.
To get that stuff?
Do you know, I'm not very, I kind of just see things. I'm like, oh, I like that. Pick it up.
Sometimes you go to Home Sense and TK Maxx because they have the greatest.
Do you know, I've done TK Maxx for a few things. I quite like Dunelm.
Yes, personally. They have good ones as well.
And yeah, just things I pick up online.
That stuff, you should check out a Home Sense, like a good Home Sense and a good TK Maxx. It's like hosting heaven sometimes, but you just have to catch it at the right time. And one that's like, if not on the outskirts, just one that everybody isn't. Like go on a Tuesday or like a Wednesday. It's good.
My husband's obsessed with TK. He loves TK. He finds everything for himself.
Not the clothes, because that my brain can't deal with, but the home section. And the home, like Home Sense, try it and send me a message. You're going to love it.
I'll be like, oh girl.
Sorry, you were saying.
No, so Christmas, I think not last year, the year before, we had my family, so my siblings, my parents, his siblings, his parents, and we just hosted everyone, and that's our bag. We haven't done a brunch, and we keep saying we're going to do a brunch and invite people around. So I just love, you know, everything about your brand. What would you say are your key tips when it comes to homemaking and hosting?
Oh, okay. Let's do homemaking first. So with
Sure.
homemaking, I would say create a space that you enjoy like coming back to. Make your home your oasis. I think sometimes like we leave those feelings of excitement when it comes to interiors to when we're going to a nice holiday, to a resort. And when you go there, it's like you feel so happy. And I always say to people, like, that feeling doesn't have to be reserved for when you're on holiday. But think about the fact that with the hotel, with the nice resort, with a nice restaurant, someone has been intentional about curating that space. Someone has made sure there's greenery. Someone has made sure the lighting feels a particular way at particular times of the day. And you can replicate that at home, but it requires intentionality. I think sometimes with the home, it's kind of like we just view it as, oh, it's this place that I come back to and sleep. Like, it's just, oh, it's whatever. But if you are just intentional over the course of a couple of months, you can really transform what your home feels like. And I always say to think about the 5 senses. So it's the same whether it's your home or with hosting. So this is one thing, one principle that overlaps. Think about the 5 senses. So what are people going to see, or what are you going to see? What are you going to smell? What are you going to hear? What are you going to touch? And what are you going to taste? Now, taste, that typically is primarily for hosting. But if you think about the home, what do you see in your space? Like little things like the habit of keeping boxes. I don't know if it's just a millennial thing, but like you've had iPhones for the past 12 years and you keep all the boxes, your blender, even the blender that you've thrown away, you still have the box at the top of your cupboard. Oh, what if I move, babe? You could go to a corner shop. They will give you boxes for free because they charge them to dispose of those boxes. So make friends with a couple shops, pop into like, even if it's TK Maxx, then can I get some of those boxes? They will give it to you if and when you move. But it's like, oh, you can't return the blender. Like your warranty has gone. It's been 6 years, sis. Throw the box away. And I think sometimes we just get
you're
get
speaking
immune.
to me directly.
You don't see it because you're looking at everything like eye level. But when you walk into your space, if it was somewhere new to you, just look up and it's like, why are there just so many boxes? And then you just keep shoving and stuffing stuff away. Take some time out. Let it be a slow process. But curate your home like someone would curate an art gallery. Like, yes, it needs to look lived in, but throw some of those boxes away, okay? Like, what are you going to see in your space? Think about that, right? Think about designing some little moments. Same with how we have little vignettes like behind you. That's intentional. It may not look like a magazine, but be intentional with it. And then what do you smell? I think smell is one of those things that, again, you can become nose blind to the fact that maybe you leave your bin in there for like 3 days too long. So we're just used to now your house smelling a particular way. It's like food odors get trapped in your curtains and your sofa, especially if it's open plan. Open the doors. Unless you have really bad allergies, even then put on a mask and open those doors every day. Open the windows. Like, it would surprise you how many people just don't open doors and windows. Let some fresh air into your space because you probably don't notice certain smells that are trapped in your space. Even in the walls, it's like going in the home of someone that smokes a lot. That smell is, you can smell it immediately because that's a foreign smell to you. But because you live in your home with the smells that you're used to, you probably don't pick up on it. So open up your doors and your windows. And then give yourself an experience, like in your entryway, put a diffuser, a reed diffuser in there, one that has a good throw. Put a diffuser when you come in, a wall plug-in, or even in your open plan space, an electric diffuser. Just at certain points of the day, if I find myself waking up, especially if it's grey and cloudy in London, I will put some lemongrass in that diffuser just so it has the feeling of, you know, when you go into a spa and it's like they've picked particular scent, that's on purpose. Imagine if you walked into a spa and it smelled like rice and stew. Like, cool, like the massage might be good, but the experience just isn't as elevated as it could be. So think about your senses, like all these little things, they come into play. And it's the same with hosting. It's all about being intentional. It's not about going out and buying things that you can't afford and looking to impress people. I always say, like, don't be trying to impress people in your home. It's your home. You're hosting them, you're welcoming them into your space. You don't need to go for trying to impress them because then usually you go above and beyond, like in terms of your budget. You stretch yourself beyond what you can actually do. You can cook. Sometimes it's like, I don't have that much money and I want to host. I'm making pasta. So I'll give myself a restriction. It's pasta and garlic bread. People will be so full that they won't even be looking for, like, because sometimes we feel like we have to cook 20 things and you get stressed out and overwhelmed. Sometimes the more restrictions I give myself, the better experience I have when I'm hosting. If I'm like, it's pasta, there's tuna pasta, there's chicken pasta, there's pasta bolognese, different shapes. It's like, oh, okay. And then you do a salad, boom. The pasta is inexpensive, but it's like you've had a great experience and I haven't broken the bank. Sweet and simple. And then the final tip that I would share when it comes to hosting is just in case you might run behind on time, prep something that guests can nibble on when they come in. I don't care if it's hummus and some crackers, hummus and some chips, sorry, crackers, cheese board. Like, it doesn't have to cost you an arm and a leg. Just put together something guests can nibble on, and don't make it heavy, because what I used to do back in the day was like fry yam, plantain, puff puff. I would have like a whole spread that would have people so full that when it came to the main course, they were like, oh my God.
You're
like,
sad
again.
because you're left with
So
all the
much food at the end. So like, just pull back a bit, but have something
Yeah.
people can nibble on when they come in, especially if your guests may be like, you know, are slightly delayed coming in and one person, just have a bunch of things that they can nibble on so you can kind of finish off little things that you might need to whilst they are doing that. So yeah.
They were such good tips.
Oh, thank you.
I'm like, okay, the boxes, okay, I'll try.
Yeah, please get rid of the boxes. The iPhone. You probably don't even have the iPhone that you still have the box for. That is what always blows my mind. I'm like, why do you have the box for like the first iPhone that ever existed?
I know.
It might be memorabilia, but I don't know, girl.
Yeah, and it's tough, but I'll try.
Go like Elsa. It's okay.
So what is your space? Okay, when it comes to your personal space, your home, are there any areas in particular that are your favorite when it comes to like being intentional?
Okay, yeah, because even as I say all this, like one of the places that I struggle with the most, because I need to just sit down and tackle it and optimize it, is my bedroom. That kind of is like chaotic sometimes, and it's just, because I prefer to use the guest bathroom, I just end up, the bathtub is like, it's just got stuff in, it's just bad. So I need to sit down and like just work through it. And I know once I do it, I will feel a whole lot better. But sometimes my bedroom area kind of reflects how my mind actually feels. So if it's chaotic, like, and I just hate doing laundry. I really despise it. It's like, I'm so grateful to have laundry to do, but my Lord, if I just...
It's just...
Girl, it just piles up.
It's the folding and putting away.
Because I've had several moments where I had to like re-wash clothes because it's been in the washing machine a bit too long. But yeah, that's my like weak area. But the place that I love is definitely the open plan kitchen. Like, I love sitting at the island. I put an island in that was a freestanding island because I didn't know that was a concept. But I was like, I like the kitchen, but this is not enough space for like me to cook. That one wall kitchen. So I had to put an island in there that I got on eBay for like the cost of a wig. Fantastic. It was on an outlet. So don't sleep on the outlets and finding stuff for like half. It was less than half the price of what it was listed at in public. But just coming into that space every time, like the art in there, the art reminds me of Lagos because I got art when I traveled back home. And just all the pieces, like it's the space for gathering, but it's a space where I can sit with myself as well. I absolutely love it. I think that's one of my favorite places in my home for sure.
Yeah. No, I love it. This is good. I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to be too selfish and like ask questions specifically for me.
Don't mind them.
Okay. So let's go back to building Marbie's Kitchen, your brand. Yeah. What kind, so you said you were mostly giving tips on cooking, recipes, etc. What did it look like when you shifted into what is now your niche, which is the home and hosting?
It looked like relearning. It's like, I always say sometimes you can become an expert in something and then you're then imprisoned by being an expert at that thing. So it's like, for so many of us, there's things that we could be great at, but trying to take that risk of learning how to be good, like all over again. It's like you're a beginner all over again. And it's like, that can be really challenging. So for me, I had to learn, okay, I've mastered, filming recipes for food and sharing all that stuff. And I remember before the Reels era, it was very much professional photography and videography. So I'd mastered what shoot days look like in that regard. And now I had to learn how to let things feel a bit more relaxed. I had to learn how to just not be so fixated on it looking ultra professional and perfect. And that was a challenge. And it just looked like during COVID, learning how to just relax a bit more when it came to what I put out. And then post-COVID, like 2021, 2022, just figuring out how to show up in a slightly different way, figuring out what works. I feel like with anything that you want to learn how to do, there's so many resources available out there. And I think sometimes like there's this mindset that we have of, until I have all my ducks in a row, there's nothing that I could be doing. And I always say, like, you need to figure out how to practice active waiting is what I call it. So before you have, like, I don't know, for example, if I say someone wants to launch a podcast, before you have your first episode or before someone said yes to being a guest, have you written a deck? In between stopping food recipes and now wanting to start with hosting, I had to allow myself to be a beginner all over again and figure out, okay, how can I research? How can I curate my feed to follow people who share more of what I want to learn? What does it look like to create content for dinner parties and hosting that translates well for the audience? And what does it look like to actually serve my audience with value?
Yeah.
And not just share from a place of like, oh, this is what I enjoy. Or sometimes I think when you know something, it's hard to see what would be valuable to other people. So it's like, if I was to ask you about starting a skincare brand, you know, from the beginning, it's like, you would have to do the work of going back to think, what are the baby steps, like the small steps? Because to you, well, it's obvious that, no, you need labels. And it's like someone may not know what the dimensions are for that or how to go about that. And it's allowing yourself to be a beginner all over again, and also sharing valuable content where you don't assume your audience knows exactly what you know. For me, it was a journey, and I'm grateful for it because, like I said, it's not just about that particular end goal, because everything that I've learned from that process, I can implement it every single time when I'm hosting an event. I can implement it every single time when I'm launching a product. I can implement it every single time when I'm helping someone with branding and marketing, which is something I love. So yeah, I think the lessons are priceless, and it can always translate from one space to the other.
Yeah. I'm so glad you mentioned branding and marketing.
Yeah.
It was something I thought of earlier.
Yeah.
Is that something you studied?
I did marketing and events management when I was at uni. And I think I've just always had this interest in terms of things being packaged well, being done well, being presented well, understanding the psychology behind what makes people purchase, what moves the needle with people, what causes people to resonate with one brand versus the other. And it's always a learning curve. And I actually host like workshops now where I teach people about storytelling and strategy. And I've just loved that. I love seeing the light bulb go off in people's minds of like, oh, and it's the same with me. I take classes all the time. I've taken tons and tons of classes because what I learned in uni is not going to carry me till this present day, right? So I've loved learning and signing myself up for courses, 12-week courses sometimes where it's like the time zone is in Chicago and I'm in the UK and I'm setting my alarm to wake up at 2 a.m. so I could join, because there's always something that you could learn about how to market to people better, and how to create a brand that actually stands out, and not giving into this mindset. Like, I know sometimes it can be really frustrating with how saturated the market feels, or maybe the algorithm's working in a way that is less than ideal. But a lot of the time, there is more that you can change than you can complain about. And for me, I love to focus on, okay, this is the facts, cool, this isn't working the way I want it to, but what can I change? Because I can't sit down with Mark Zuckerberg at the moment. So like, what can I do about my content and my brand and the way that I present myself so that it stands out for people? Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Thanks.
No, I love all the things. I love what you're doing. What do you have? What's your end goal plan?
Oh, I always think of when people say that, it's like, one, I'm not overly fixated on any particular end goal, because if you'd asked me 6, 7, 8 years ago, the answer would have been so different. So I'm slightly different in my approach when it comes to the way people talk about purpose and like end goals. I'm very much like, to an extent, what will be, will be. And I'm open to all the possibilities. I feel like sometimes you can't even plan the greatness that you kind of end up in if you just allow yourself to keep taking the next best step. But for me, I know, like, if there was a picture in mind, it would be a crossover between Oprah and Martha Stewart. Like I always say, if Oprah and Martha Stewart had a baby, I would be the end result. But just seeing how the two of them have basically built empires and created this ecosystem where it's like, you purchase because of them, no matter what the product is, whether it's products that they've launched or kind of being a billboard or a pedestal for other people to promote their products. I'm open, but also, yes, somewhere between Oprah and Martha Stewart would be like the dream.
That's the perfect comparison. I love that for you.
Yeah, because they're like, Oprah is very much the heart conversations and still has this whole like ecosystem of, you know, there's so many different things. Like I remember just watching the Oprah show and even the behind the scenes of the Oprah show, because I love, like, I think when she was wrapping up the 25th year, and they showed like the work that the producers did. Oh, I just loved seeing how the things that we enjoy come to life. But then also Martha Stewart, because it's like, what do you mean you started? I think she started at 50, her company. It's like, like something either 40 or 50, but I want to say it's 50. And it's like what she built, and just taking ownership of her gift and using it to create something for. I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, yeah, people were cooking, but it was like, no, not in the same way.
Yeah. Yeah.
The how-to and the hosting and the homemaking as this thing of pride. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're very self-aware, because I see both, and it's like, it makes sense.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the goal, hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah. Changing gears slightly, what does self-care mean to you?
Oh, I think this goes back to what I mentioned earlier about self-discovery. Because like I always say, it's the gift that keeps on giving, which is why I called my journal The Gift of Self-Discovery. But the comparison or the analogy that I like to provide is a car's job is to take you from point A to point B, right? And any car can do that. But to care for the car well and to help it function well, you need to understand if it requires petrol, diesel. Some cars now require electric, right? They all do the same job. They take you from point A to point B, but to care for it well, you need to understand what it needs.
Yeah.
And I feel like sometimes with the rise of self-care and how popular it is, it's easy to just look at someone else's self-care routine and say like, oh, like self-care is bubble baths and like, you know, spa days. So that's what works for me. And it's like, to me, that's akin to taking what a Tesla requires and doing the same for a car that requires petrol or diesel.
Yeah.
You need to know what works for you, what is essential for you to thrive before you can develop a self-care routine that actually works for you. And sometimes that also varies from season to season. The self-care that someone might need as a single person, you know, let's say at a particular age might differ. It might be the same, but it might differ from someone that's had a newborn.
Yeah.
Right. That care looks different. So, and even if it's not, you know, difference in terms of roles, sometimes it might be different in terms of seasons. Like the self-care that I need whilst preparing to host an event might be very different from the self-care maybe when I just don't have particular deadlines and projects looming. So for me, it varies from time to time, from season to season, or depending on what role I'm executing, but it's going beyond what it looks like for other people. Sometimes self-care is sitting down and just being like, Michelle, you need to organize your life. Like you need better routines.
Yeah.
Sometimes I've heard someone say self-care is paying your bills. It sounds ridiculous, but it's like, what do you need in order to thrive?
Yeah.
What do you need in order to function well? Let's do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes that is sitting down on Sundays to plan your week. It's not glamorous. Sometimes self-care is not sexy. It's not Instagrammable. It doesn't look like Pinterest. Sometimes self-care is doing the hard thing that you need to do, even when you don't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, it's giving yourself what will give you peace in that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
and the ability to actually function in the way you need to. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. So you've had a really stressful day. You've gone here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
You get home, something's gone wrong in your day, so you're stressed. You get home, what are you doing to relax?
Okay, so ideally I want plantain and egg. Yeah, don't ask. I love plantain. Plantain is like one of my true loves, apart from cake. Me and plantain go together real bad. And plantain and egg is just, it feels like a comfort meal. Like I love that whole idea of the things that maybe you grew up with. For someone else, a comfort meal might be pizza or whatever, but for me, it's like often the meals that I've grown up with, or that my mum would have cooked for me. Like, yeah, either that. Having a good TV show for me makes the world feel right. Like, and I love when I stumble upon a TV show that like other people have watched through, and now I have like 5, 6, 7 seasons, so I can just watch it back to back. I love that. I have to have self-control to like actually leave and go to my room because I don't have a TV in my bedroom.
Okay.
But yeah, like a good meal and a good TV show. When I finish the seasons of a good TV show, I'm like, what is life? Like, I don't know what to do.
You miss the characters.
Honestly. And yeah, I think for me, those two things, I typically journal at the beginning of the day. So that wouldn't necessarily provide me relief at the end of the day. But yeah, a good TV show, a good meal. I just want to exist without thinking, like working, creating. And then a good TikTok session in bed. Like for me, that is the highlight of my evening. I know you're not supposed to. At the end of the night, nothing brings me more joy than like my pillows are arranged the way they need to be. My bed, if it's like a winter night, I have my electric blanket going underneath me, like, and I can scroll on TikTok. Perfect.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't ask for more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people, they're so funny. Like,
no, they
people are so. I'm like, did you always know you were this funny? And we just now have insight into it. Like, that is the highlight of my whole day. Scrolling on TikTok at night, I don't care. I don't care. I know the experts are gonna be like, you're not supposed to screen time. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Do you put your brightness on tonight?
My brightness is low, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
But like, I need to scroll. Like, if I'm gonna be in bed by 10, I want to be in bed by 9:30 so I can like start my session. Okay. Yeah.
No, there are actual comedians on TikTok.
And there's comedians that make the videos, and in the comment section.
The comments, it's always the comments.
Why are you guys that funny? Like,
the comments make it 10 times funnier.
Let me tell you something. That is the highlight of my whole day. So sorry.
What series are you watching at the moment?
Oh, okay. So I just finished House. It's kind of serious. So to me, House is funny and serious at the same time. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah, he's special. He would aggravate a lot of people, but I finished watching House. Every week I watch Real Housewives of Atlanta. I have to wait weekly to watch that. Like, I love some good reality TV series. The best thing I've done so far this year was Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Let me tell you something. Yeah, it doesn't matter what anybody thinks about reality TV. I'm like, I need to sit and kiki, Married to Medicine. Like, I am all there for that. In terms of TV series, I will rewatch a couple of things. So sometimes I have a different world going on, like in the background. Okay. Yeah, in the evenings if I still need to work. I'm trying to like visualize I just finished Ginny in Georgia.
Oh, I haven't. I've only done the first episode.
Okay, I finished Ginny in Georgia. Currently, I'm watching Nine Strangers. I enjoyed that.
I watched the first season. I haven't watched the second one yet.
The second one I was a bit in and R because it's like in a different setting and it felt a bit more grey and mood. I don't love to watch series that feel really like dimly lit. Don't ask, because that's how I felt about How to Get Away with Murder. I was like, why is everything so dark? But I'm enjoying Nine Strangers. Like, I love like just seeing like, why do you think like that? Like, there's a whole lot of things that I will watch. I was a diehard Grey's Anatomy person, but then like the last 3 seasons, I'm not here for it. Okay. So I will watch it from the beginning all over again. I've done that like twice. I need to give myself a break so I can stop crying like a crazy person. Because I'm a boohoo crier when it comes to TV shows. So yeah, like I will probably watch This Is Us again at some point this year.
Oh yeah. Same.
Yeah. Those are like my kind of shows. A good rom-com. Like, I'm not trying to watch horror films.
Okay.
Thrillers, like here and there, but I don't want it. Like, when I say thrillers, I mean like Taken, or like for me, it's like
action thriller.
It's too much.
Yeah.
And especially like if I don't know that it's gonna be a happy ending. If I'm watching a movie, I need there to be escapism from my real life.
Okay.
Because I can't remember which film I watched. Like nobody warned me about Set It Off. So I watched Set It Off. Yeah. And I didn't know that.
Terrible.
Hello?
Terrible.
What? No. They did me dirty. Yeah. Dirty. That one and the one where Denzel, is it Training Day? No, I don't know. He's like babysitting this girl and they've moved to Mexico. He's her bodyguard.
Oh, okay.
And then he dies at the end.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Just sitting there mad at the TV.
No, like, I get so mad. Like, even especially Shonda Rhimes, the day I meet that babe, because she's always like,
making us sad.
Make you fall in love with the person. Why? Yeah. Why? Oh, you can tell. Sorry, it's really like I will still sit and watch Grey's Anatomy, but like that. Station 19, I'm like boohoo crying, pacing in my living room because it's like, why? Why do you make me fall in love with these people and then just
take them away?
Why'd you do that? Oh, sorry. Okay, I need to just calm back down.
No, it's good. I'm a big TV person.
Oh yeah, good.
I like my series.
What are your favorite shows?
At the moment, so me and my husband are really into like Mobland, Gangs of London, Power, but then we also do This Is Us.
Okay, good.
Forever,
yeah,
all of those.
Yeah, because
a good mix.
Forever was lovely. I love the way that was shot. It was beautiful.
Yeah,
I forgot about
and the
that.
music.
Yeah, the music. I was like, what is this?
It matched perfectly all the scenes.
I finished that in 1.5 days. Like,
same. Yeah,
I am not a like wait to space it out and watch. I'm like,
Just give
next
it.
episode after next, which is
Yeah,
why I
yeah.
can't have a TV in my room. You have to know
sure.
yourself. Like,
Yeah.
it's just,
Yeah, I love a good binge.
Yeah. It's just, it's so bad, but it's so, the only reason why I'm like, it's so bad is like, sometimes I watch so much that I can't remember what I've watched.
Oh,
Or like
okay,
I'll see an actor and I'm like, where do I know them
Where
from?
do I know them from?
Because I've seen so many things in such a short space of time because of streaming. It's like,
But it's just so easy to do.
Yeah, it's not great, but learn me some TV.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for coming. This was such a good conversation.
Oh yeah, no, it was great. I felt like a little kiki catch up. I loved it. Thank you.
Perfect. Before you go, can you share with the audience your key takeaway or mantra for life?
Oh, my mantra, I have a couple. The one I will share today, which I got reminded of the other day, that is from Lisa Nichols, I think. She always says, I have nothing to prove, nothing to lose, and everything to gain. So for me, I always say that when it's just, I need a reminder that I'm not trying to prove myself to anyone. I think when you do anything operating from a space of trying to prove to an ex of why you're worth it, or somebody that thought you weren't good enough for like a particular job role, career, you step outside of functioning in whatever your gift is or what comes naturally to you. And you now move to this space of trying to prove your worth.
Yeah.
And I never want to be in that space. I have nothing to lose. So for me, that whole feeling of no experience is wasted. I always have something to gain. Even if something doesn't go the way I ideally want it to, there's always something that I can glean from that experience. So I have nothing to prove, nothing to lose, and everything to gain. Like I have everything to gain by trying. So yeah, that's the mantra. What was the second part of what you asked me?
No, yeah, that's your key takeaway.
Okay, amazing. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is the best way to wrap up this episode. Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming down.
Oh, absolute pleasure.
I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, be sure to thumbs up and share it with someone who'd also, gain from Michelle's wisdom.
Yes.
Can you let us know where we can find you online?
Yeah, everywhere. It's Marbie's Kitchen. Well, apart from YouTube. YouTube is Love Marbie. But Marbie is just basically Barbie with an M. I know. So Marbie's Kitchen on Instagram, on TikTok. I think those are the main places.
Sure.
And my website, marbieskitchen.com.
Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
Be sure to share any key takeaways that resonated with you in the comment section. Other than that is about it for this episode. Take care, stay blessed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.